Hi everybody, welcome to the Beaute Makeup Show presented by myself, Safina Malik, and we will be showing you various different types of looks throughout the next couple of shows. But today we're going to be concentrating on a very traditional classic red and gold look, which is very popular in the Asian bridal market. To begin with, we're going to start with the eyes first. I, as a professional makeup artist, always start with the eyes for many different reasons. Largely because there's a lot of contouring and contrasting required for the eye makeup, which drops onto the cheekbone. So I always end up removing it, so I save my foundation for after I've done the eye makeup. So you always need to have a base for the shadow to sit on. So I'm going to put foundation all over the eyelid, everywhere, with a foundation brush. So you cover the whole entire eyelid with foundation, so that both are nice and even all over. You then get a clear eyeshadow. Could be anything from a beige or white, neutral colours, just so that the both eyelids are nice and clear for you to start putting colour onto the eyes. Okay, once the whole eye area is covered with the neutral colour, you then add red to the eye. Because her outfit's all red and gold, I'm gonna just use a red and gold simple eyeshadow. I'm gonna keep it quite simple because I'm gonna give her quite heavy lips. Right, so red just in the outer corner of the eye, at a slanted angle, and I'm creating a nice almond eye shape. And I'm not going to go beyond the center point of the eye. So I'm going to slant it and bring it to the center. So when she opens her eye, you can see at the center by the pupil. Gold dust is applied to fill in the whole of the gap where you left the red. And you're only leaving a little bit of gap just below the brow area for the shimmer to come onto. Okay. Now that you've covered the whole eyelid with different colours, you've got the gold, the red and the shimmer. Now what we're going to do is we're going to add character to the eyes. And in order to do that, we use black to dramatize the eyes. So I'm shaping the eye, but you've got to be very careful with how we use the black eyeshadow, because this can change and determine the eye shape in the end. So when you are doing it for the first time, it's always best to start off very slowly. So it's quite a harsh colour, black, so you have to be very, very careful with how you use it. So I'm going to start off with just above the lash area, just above the lashes, like a top liner, and I'm going to bring it inside this crease, again shaping the eyes into almond shape. So I'm making it quite dark on the corners, but bringing a faint line into the socket there. Okay. And you do the exact same thing to the other eye as well. So whatever you do to the one eye, you always make sure you do the same thing to the other eye as well, so you have balanced makeup on both eyes. So open your eyes for me, if you look, and you join the two together. Just halfway down the eyes. And now I'm going to put it in the waterline as well, fill the waterline up with black to create the dramatic eyes. Black is a very harsh colour, so you've got to be really careful with where you put it and how you put it. So you're just going to be careful with the waterline not to get it into the eyeball. Just going to put it inside. Oopsie daisy. Open. But we're going to add the red to create a bit more definition and colour to the eyes. Because of the black, it's made the red just almost disappear in the background. So now I'm going to add a bit more red to show that there's more red going on in the eyes, but not too much, still keeping the gold more dominant in the eyes. I'm just going to put a hint of red just to dab. So when you're adding colour, you should always dab, not stroke the brush. So you need to always add with the brush to add colour. And I'm going to put it slightly above the crease so that when she opens her eyes, you can see the red and the background. Very, very fainted red line above the black. The key to good eye makeup is always to blend, blend and more blending. You can never do enough blending to the eyes because you want it to look like there's a lot of effort put in. You don't want the colours just looking like red, gold and black. You want it to eventually look like it's fading away in the distance. So blending and contrasting the colours is the key to good eye makeup. Above the antique gold that I used in the beginning. I'm just taking off the eyeshadow off the eyebrow, making the eyes a bit more defined. Eyelashes. Now it all depends on personal preference. Every individual likes to have you know, a particular look for their eyes, dramatic, light, not so dramatic. And eyelashes, it's a very personal thing. I'm going to use the double eyelashes on Fehmina because I think for brides it gives you the wow factor. the wow factor on the eyes, which really brings out the eyes dramatically. Is that comfortable? Open. Once the glue is all dried up, you then put the top liner on, right on top of the eyelashes. Now it all depends again on personal preference. Some may like very thick top liners, and some might like to have a thin one. Now, once you're happy with the eye makeup, you're completely satisfied with the way you have done the contouring, the shaping, and the eyelashes are all defined quite well, you then move on to the base. Now, the base, to put the foundation on, you always need to have a barrier between the foundation and the skin. So you need to put the person's own usual moisturizer, which is very important. Okay. Now then, foundation. It's the most important features of a makeover is the base. The base needs to be absolutely flawless and picture perfect, especially for a bride-to-be, because you want it to last throughout the whole day, from the early hours of the morning, usually probably about 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, some brides start. Okay, so basically it needs to be a nice evened out foundation throughout the whole face, and usually the bride should have it cover all her skin wherever it's showing. If you're going to go 1 or 2 shades lighter, you need to cover the whole skin area. Wherever her skin's showing, we need to cover it so that it doesn't look odd on camera or in pictures or in person as well. Okay, so the foundation, depending on how light the client wants to go, or if they want to stay natural, it's entirely a personal choice. But it's always good to advise, I always advise my brides that you can go 2 shades lighter without looking grey on camera, because if you got any lighter than that, there's a risk of looking grey on camera and on picture. So it's always good to just advise that. But if they want to go light, that's their personal choice. But we can go 3 or 4 shades lighter. That's almost like theatrical makeup, where it's just completely porcelain look. Always brush downwards when it comes to applying foundation on the skin. Can you lie back for me? Open up. I've kept it natural. Looks flawless, doesn't it? Just putting a settle powder over the entire face. This is my favourite bit, the shimmer on the cheekbone, which is a must-have in every makeup artist's toolbox. With this you can highlight the cheekbone, which looks very effective on camera and in pictures. It just contours the whole face structure and the cheekbones. It brings out all the cheekbones in. So you would put it just faintly below the hairline and right on top of the cheekbone. And you do the exact same thing to the other side. Just brushing it gently across the hairline and bringing it slightly forward onto the cheekbone. It's a finisher, finishes the whole foundation, and it just makes it sit and give you a nice glow to the face. Right, blusher is another very, very highly effective makeup tool. Always start off lightly, and we are just stroking outwards on the cheekbone. If you're struggling to find the cheekbone, you either get your client to sort of pout in her cheeks, lips, or smile, and that way you can see her cheekbone. Using a nice clean sharpened pencil, always shape the lips. Now, Fehmina's got a lovely shaped lips, so you don't need to really change the shape of lips, but everybody's got different lip shape, and you can do lots with lip liners. You can shape them, make them bigger, make them smaller, but in this case we don't need to because her lips are so perfect. Using the lip brush, I'm just going to fill in the whole of the lip area. Okay, right, there you go. Do you like? Right, now that the makeup's done, you move on to the hair. Depending on the jewellery, you do the hair according to that. And in this case, we are going to go for a big hairdo because she's got lots going on with jewellery on her head as well in this instance. So, okay, what I've done here is I've set the hair up for height and volume. So I've put 3 or 4 hair pieces underneath her own hair and just backcombed a bit of her hair and wrapped it over the hair pieces. That's synthetic hair, it's not actual real hair underneath. And now I'm gonna just add a little bit more for some styling at the front. Now, using the hair piece, long hair pieces, I'm just gonna create a nice big pattern at the front so that her jewellery can sit nicely, because she's got a nice big hair piece to put on at the front. I'm just gonna style her hair out in a very retro style. once you've done all the loops and you've created a nice style with them, there's all kinds of different hairstyles that you can do for the tradition. This is not a very traditional hairstyle, I'd say. Actually, it's not a typical one. This is a very retro 60s style that I've created purely because I think her jewellery will complement this hairstyle. It's quite a big headpiece that we've got, and together with her headscarf as well. So I've just sort of twisted this look slightly from a traditional to a more retro sort of style. To finish the whole look off, we just place the scarf right above where the jewellery sits, so all the pins are hidden right behind the border of the scarf. Right, and here we have our bride all ready to go and show. Thank you very much, Fehmina. How did you find it today?
It's beautiful, I love it.
Excellent. Thank you very much, viewers, for joining me this week, and I'll look forward to seeing you all next week, same time, same place, showing you another creative look of mine.